David Solomon. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern. You think about it, we rant about it. Listen to us live on Facebook.
What's up, everybody? It's the Rant Network. Myself, Stuart Brisgel, with David Solomon, hailing from Montreal, Quebec, and Aventura Corporate Center in the studio. Just want to talk to you about something we all live for. At least I do. And I don't know about David, but we're going to hear how he feels. Vacation.
Oh, my, yeah.
Oh, I don't know about you, but I had a 1.5 year vacation and I called it COVID.
Yeah, I don't think it was a vacation, buddy. I'm sorry. I don't think others out there want to call it a vacation.
Well, not having to go into the office for, 14, 16 months on a regular basis, have to shave on a regular basis. I saw some people with beards longer than ZZ Top. But, when we talk about vacation, I, living in South Florida, think of palm trees and sand. And funny enough, I think, David, what do you think is a vacation?
The funny thing is, it's a great thing. We live here with 4 seasons a year. So, for us, when winter hits and we get the snow and the cold, we think of palm trees, sand. I got to tell you how many people here want to go down. Christmas time, Stuart, I don't have to tell you, Florida is packed with people from our area. Like all the Northerners just flock down there. Yeah. But that's up in Hollywood. We can leave it at that. But here's the thing that's crazy though, and this is something that has become a philosophy, not just here in Quebec, but also in France. And that's the notion of a quasi-forced vacation. What do I mean by that? So in Quebec, the last 2 weeks of July, in fact, we're knee deep in it right now. The province is quiet because the construction folks are on vacay. It's a forced vacation. They're not working for these 2 weeks. They know every year they get these 2 weeks.
Oh, and there's no traffic, I bet.
Oh, traffic is like nothing. Subsequently, a lot of companies have said, you know what? If they're on vacation, then we should be on vacation. So I'm communicating with an advertising agency, and I just got their message saying, we'll be back August 2nd. Wow, 2-week vacation. That's cool. And I'm thinking, I remember years ago, Stuart, about 20 years ago, I went to France. I did some business, and I was there in, I think it was like a March, and I was talking to them about the summer, and he goes, well, David, we're closed from mid-July to the first week of August. We'll be back at work the second week of August. And I said, is that you? He says, no, that's the whole country. It's a 3-week family time where the country we know. And if you go through Europe from mid-July to early August, French residents are flocking all over the place on a family vacation. Which led me to think about, how come in the US and Canada, when we talk about work-life balance, this notion is not there? That the idea of telling people that, we have a set period where possible. I'm not saying every company and every industry can do it. I don't think the financial services sector can shut down for an entire 2 weeks. But there are certain sectors in the manufacturing, in construction, in other markets, Stuart, where I think that conceptually, there could be a possibility of highly encouraging a vacation. Now, I know people are going to freak out and tell me, don't tell me what to do. I'll take my vacation when I can. You don't tell me. But you want to know what? When kids are off from school for 2 weeks at Christmas time, oh, there's a vacation period. And when they're off in the summer, there's a vacation period. But how many, or spring break, but I don't know of anybody who said, oh, it's November 1st, I should get a week off of vacation. Look, if you have a family, then you fit it to the family schedule. So why are we so fixated? Why can't we just have a period where we call it family vacation time? We give people, as employers, a chance to take the break, and it might serve as a better way to retain employees and feel better. I'm not throwing this socialist matter out there. It's just my idea, Stuart. What do you think?
So, it turns out that I lived in that famous Hollywood, Florida, and had a good friend. Let him play for a second.
Arguably the vacation capital of the world. So what better topic to talk about than vacation?
What was that? Vacations. I don't know if you guys heard it on the broadcast. So I live near a guy named Joshua Leibowitz, who just so happens to be on this TED Talk that I think is probably, if you're not convinced about taking a vacation, listen to my old good friend, Josh Leibowitz, and understand the concept. He was formerly the chief strategy officer for Carnival Corporation. So hang on, there may be some self-preservation in there by saying about vacation. And now I think he's now an executive at Seabourn. But that's not just what it's about. You know, Josh Leibowitz in this TED Talk talks about all the corporations where all these employees generate 2 weeks vacation time, and that how important it is for you to actually take that vacation time. It is for your health, mind, body, and soul. And he goes on and he talks about how he used to take a vacation with his family and how fondly he remembers his trips. And again, for motivations, it's another 14 and a half minutes. I'm strongly, and we're not being paid, and Josh doesn't know that I'm talking about this, and he's probably, not going to be too happy that I'm talking about him without his permission. So Josh, forgive me. But, I really want everyone to understand that I believe that it's extremely important that companies do force their employees to take their vacation time. To pay them out for their vacation time isn't helping them in the company. In fact, it's probably hurting them in the company because the employees are getting burned out. Like, I don't know how many people that have been working excessively, even during COVID. I mean, around the clock, they're addicted to their computers or on their dining room tables. They haven't stopped in 16 to 18 months. David, where are you?
Where am I?
Yeah.
What do you mean, where am I?
You're at your home office. How
I'm at my
many
home
months?
office.
How many months were you quarantined in that home office?
Well, no, look at right now for me for the last year and a half. I was able to take a couple of days off, and I was lucky enough to take a bit of a break. But there has been no travel. There's been no real family move. I mean, my kids are older, so it's not like we're all going on a family trip right now. But the reality is, I know most people spend Christmas here, are spending the summer holidays there. I mean, now the kids are off to camp, maybe. But in terms of real vacation, it's been, traveling within the province. People are doing it. Traveling within Canada, people are doing it. But it has not been easy. But here's the counterpoint, Stuart. When everybody's going at the same time, prices go up. Things are occupied.
Right.
It's brutal now.
Right, which is why I subscribe to a different philosophy. First of all, there's scientific data or scientific opinion, right? That there's 7 reasons why vacations are good. It's improved physical health. It's improved mental health. It's a greater well-being, increased mental motivation, improved family relationship, decreases burnouts, and boosts happiness. Well, maybe if you travel with 3 young kids or 6, maybe not so much. But I mean, there are memories created, so that counts as happiness. But you're right. By having these structured vacations, these tourism companies kind of exploit it, right? Because the demand goes up, the prices go up. And so if you have the 2-week free vacation, I think a company should mandate you must use your vacation time when you want to use it. And this way, not everyone's bottlenecked over the Christmas holidays or the holiday season, which is a much better term, David, or the summer vacation. I mean, there's some schools that are actually running in the summer. So maybe summer vacation is not a good term.
Well,
I think every organization,
yeah.
and even if you're self-employed, you need to take a break. And you need to take your family, and school's got to get off that CRT bandwagon. And it's not bad to take a break. And no matter what color, race, color, or creed, a vacation is a vacation. Turn it off. Don't answer the calls, and just take a break from all the day-to-day norms.
The crazy thing, what you just said, is it's actually kind of funny because you talk about vacations, and it reminds me of the time when my kids played sports, and I knew parents who they didn't take vacations. And you know why? Because their kids played hockey 12 months a year.
It's not
And
good.
I said, in no world does that make a lot of sense to me, because your body doesn't relax. You don't relax. It's really nonsensical. And, there are people out there. Look, there are people who cheer on work hours. It's not about the quality of the work. It's the number of hours. It's the number of days that you worked. Oh my God, look, I worked 10, 12-hour days. I worked 7 days a week and whatever. There's almost like, even for entrepreneurs, there's this false pride. There's this false concept that, oh my God, if I go on vacation, I'm hurting the business. My investors aren't going to be happy because I'm not working 27 hours a day, 8 days a week, and I'm not taking vacations. But all the studies that I've seen, and thank you for showing that on screen, but every study I've seen said that it's like our brains are like batteries.
Yep.
If they don't get to recharge, they don't function properly.
100%. And David, I'm not as bright as I went to Harvard, but Harvard Business Review says thinking of skipping a vacation, don't. Again, it goes back to the basic age-old adage. What in the world, are we going to do?
Well, look, to me, it's like the scary part is if government gets involved, and this is my personal opinion, Stuart, about government getting involved. They scare me to death because they do things to help themselves get reelected. It doesn't help businesses. It doesn't help the other people. So now the question.
Now we want to talk about government. Okay.
No. I don't want to get into government.
That was the title of the talk, actually. Forced. That was the title of our talk. We haven't talked about the title. Forced.
We'll talk about that later. But the truth is that when the government gets involved and starts mandating things, they're not looking at the landscape the way they should be looking at the landscape. And I think it's really incumbent on employers. And, it's the one thing that in Canada, as being a more of a socialist-ish type of an attitude, we rely on the government to make the decisions for us. But I think in the U.S., I think you guys have it a bit right. And I think it has to really come from the companies themselves, establishing a work-based policy, a vacation-based policy. And in technology, by the way, if you look at the Googles and you look at the Apples and if you look at all the rest of that stuff, they're encouraging it. The notion, by the way, that remote work is a vacation, as you joked about it before. It's not a vacation. It's actually worse. And their studies are going to show that people have suffered more so than anything else in a whole other aspect. You are right. You need to shut off. We don't know how to turn off our phones. We don't know how to turn off our brains. We don't know how to get away from things. And the truth of the matter is, if you're an entrepreneur and you're running your own business, you're petrified. You're petrified of leaving it with somebody else. You're petrified of a lot of things. If we don't, as a society, start embracing the notion and the value of vacations, I think we're going to be dead. I think we're going to be fried. And in a global competitive world, global competitive environment, where France is encouraging it.
Oh, no. France mandates it. Well, wrong. France is a mandated.
What I'm saying is
I don't like your example.
that eventually it's going to catch up to us here in North America, that we're going to fall behind even there because our brains can't recharge, can't reboot.
Yeah, but the whole thing is that I understand we got to keep government out of it. Government needs to stay out of it. I believe that companies, as they are trying to find themselves and find better employees, as of now, they can't even hire back the employees they once had. I think they must mandate, hey, you got 2 weeks vacation. You need to put it on a calendar. You got 6 months to do so. And you got to take 2 weeks, 1 week minimums off at a time and shut off. Your phone's off, your computer's off, your email's off. So, Josh talked about in his thing, how they want to shut down his email. I mean, you are not to answer the phone call. You are done. There's no emergency that isn't going to last. You're not a doctor. And even if you're a doctor, there's someone else taking your call. Like, everything's got to stop. You got to take at least 2 1-week breaks. You get to pick where they are. David, we're at 14 and a half minutes. That means we're coming to our quarter and we're done.
And by the way, we're also coming up to our vacation. So on
that
note, folks,
vacation,
amazing,
David?
Right?
No way!
First time in close to 2 years, I'm going to be able to do this. So, folks, listen. Hey, you know what? We want to thank everybody who's been listening to us since we started the Rant Network. We're right now wrapping up. We're going to our summer mode, having a great time. Check out some of the topics that we're going to be talking about. We've talked about politics, education, sports. We're all over the place. We love your feedback. Keep sending it to us. Stuart, let's say goodbye to everybody.
Before we say goodbye, if you listen to the end of this broadcast, I want you to send us a message, private message or public. Where is your dream vacation? Just put the place, whether it's the Galapagos, whether it's Greece, whether it's Spain, whether it's my backyard, please, not my backyard, someone else's backyard.
Your backyard, we're coming over.
David, I'm the one who said hello. It's your turn to say goodbye.
Folks, listen, want to wish you, if you're actually going on vacation or you're on vacation listening to us, happy vacation. Enjoy. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Stuart?
I'm saying goodbye.